Dude, when I first started ironworking in Edmonton, this is pretty crazy too. We might need to edit some of these stories out, but this is like day one, right? I got this job. I was working with all these native guys, and I was dating the boss's daughter. I might have told one of these stories before, maybe on the show, but I know might have told you them in the past. Yeah. I told people at work, but I worked with this entire family of natives. They all worked for this guy. We were like hauling rebar, building skyscrapers. It was a pretty cool job, and it was like one of the tougher jobs I ever did. Best shape of my life too.
Yeah.
But like day one, I go there, and he's like, Ray, the boss, goes and puts me with this guy. It's winter time, and he's like, "Hey, you'll be working with Justin today." I'm like, "Okay." I go over there. The first thing he says, he's like, "Hey, buddy, what's your name?" I'm like, "I'm Donovan, man." And he's like, "Hey, Donovan, do you ever watch bestiality porno?" I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "No." Like, do you? And he's like, "Oh, fuck yeah. I watched this one the other night, this huge stallion just giving it to this big fat white chick." I'm like, Jesus! Like, this is like literally minute one of my job, and I'm like, what did I get myself into, right? Yeah. So we got to work with this guy all day. So he's just talking like that, like nonstop, right? All day. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Like, I've never heard anything like this before. So I was like 18 at the time, I think, when I started working there. So we didn't have a lunch shack or nothing at the time either. So like, this is still day one. We got to sit in this guy's, in his blazer that he had to eat our coffee break or whatever, right? So we're eating our lunch in there, and I'm sitting in the back seat. Justin's in the front. His dad Reggie's in the back seat beside me, and his other guys in the front. And Reggie gets out with the other dude, and Justin like turns around from the front seat, puts his face like this close to mine, and he's like, "Hey, Donovan, who would you rather fuck, Curtis or my dad?" I'm like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, what? I don't know. I was like, "Who would you?" And he's like, "Curtis is probably pretty big." But dude, it was like with those dudes, it was hilarious. Just constant, dude. They were some of the funniest people I ever met in my whole life, man. Just constant rousing like the whole time. But if you were like, I was able to take it, and I thought it was hilarious, right? Because like I love jokes. Yeah. But if like some stiff guy went in there, like, oh my god, they just imagine how many calls to HR you'd get nowadays. You know?
Well, you'd only get so many before somebody's buried in a ditch.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Because that's how the oil field works.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was nuts, dude. Yeah, so there was stuff like that all the time with those guys, man. One time, we got, this just made me think of these guys. It was one time that it got shut down. It was so cold, right? The tower crane wouldn't even turn. It was all iced up. So it was like 10 in the morning, and they sent us home. And we go over to Curtis's place with Reggie and his whole family, Justin and all of them, right? And they're just drinking beers. Like, let's go, we'll get shit-faced. And I'm like, I guess. It's like 10:30 in the morning, and I'm like, want to be one of the boys?
Yeah.
By noon, dude, I was so drunk. I was like at the side of a 7-Eleven. I didn't have a cell phone at the time even. That's how long ago this was. I remember walking, like I was completely annihilated. And I walked to the freaking 7-Eleven. Where's your phone? And they're just like, fucking what? And it's like middle of the day, and I'm just that guy, completely annihilated. They gave me their phone. I called my buddy. I passed out outside by the garbage can until my buddy came and picked me up down in South Edmonton. Yeah. Like 1 in the afternoon, dude. It was like one of the most embarrassing times of my life, man. Crazy. But like, yeah, those guys so bad. It's like, I don't know. You look at some companies in some ways that the places work, and then how other places work.
Yeah.
Like, because I've worked at some pretty formal places where everything's got to be, all the boxes got to be ticked. You got to be dressed a certain way. You got to talk a certain way. And then there's that. You know what I mean? Where it's like day one, and you're just asking you questions like that, and they're completely annihilated. Like one time we ended up working a whole long weekend. He was paying us like $300 a day cash.
Yeah.
So we were going to get like $1,200. We got paid every week too. So, but just for those 3 days, we were going to make $900. It was like pretty sweet. Justin was a recovering alcoholic. He hadn't drank in like a year and a half, or maybe might even been more than that. After we got paid the $900, we go to work the next day or whatever, right? No Justin. Yeah, sure. Go to work the next day, no Justin. We ask Reggie, his dad, like, what happened to Justin? He's like, I don't know. I think he might be on a bender. We come back like a week later. Reggie, we're like, hey, what happened to Justin? He's like, oh, he's in the hospital. Got alcohol poisoning. Oh. Yeah, he couldn't handle it. Right? Got right back into the booze.
Yeah.
But also at the same point, some of the hardest working dudes I've ever met in my life, dude.
Yeah.
One of them, Buster Pete was his name, which is a pretty awesome name.
Yeah.
Buster Pete. But he never brought water, never brought food or anything into work, no matter what, right? It'd be like plus 30, no water all day. His lips would just be white from like dehydration.
Yeah.
Right. And the one day he brings a tin lunchbox to work, and I'm like, Buster, buddy, you finally brought some food, eh? Looks at me like a minute. He's like, no. Opens it up, just full of tobacco and rolling papers.
Nice.
Yeah. Classic.